by Wall to Wall Retro, your hip haven for all things retro. Visit walltowallretro.com. In response to reports that Immigration and Customs Enforcement will target Chicago and other major cities in Sunday raids, which have been canceled, Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she's directed the local police not to cooperate with the ICE enforcement actions. Chicago is believed to be among 10 U.S. cities, along with Atlanta, Baltimore, Denver, Houston, Los Angeles, Miami, New Orleans, New York, and San Francisco, all Democrat, by the way, targeted in upcoming raids directed by the idiot. Lightfoot issued a public statement Friday evening condemning the raids and ordering Chicago's law enforcement not to assist with any ICE enforcement actions. Lightfoot said she directed Superintendent Eddie Johnson to restrict ICE access to Chicago Police Department databases, and Johnson confirmed the order. Hundreds of South suburban families have been left with no tap water to drink for over a week. Elevated lead levels were found in their water, and the University Park residents want answers. Representatives for Aqua, Illinois, admitted to noticing a change last August, almost a full year ago. Recent tests reveal several homes in this area have water above the federal limit for lead levels, including one with over 100 times the acceptable amount. Standing room only in University Park Saturday when hundreds filled a room looking for answers. I got it, babe. A week after their water was deemed unsafe to drink due to lead levels above EPA standards. And finally, the Philadelphia Police Department has pulled 72 officers off their regular duties as authorities investigate inflammatory social media posts that were revealed in a database that found thousands of offensive postings by current and former officers. Police officials in Philadelphia are describing the action as the largest removal of officers from the street in recent memory. We are equally as disgusted by many of the posts that you saw. In many cases, the rest of the nation saw, said Philadelphia Police Commissioner Richard Ross. In the latest fallout since the advocacy group Plain View Project earlier this month released thousands of Facebook posts and comments by current and former police officers that range from racist memes to posts celebrating violence and messages containing Islamophobic themes, among other offensive material. For more info about Eric, Richard, and myself and upcoming events, visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can also find us all over social media. Be sure to go and like our Facebook page, The Family Meeting. Follow us on Twitter at TFM Radio Show, on Instagram, The Family Meeting. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see us live streaming this broadcast right now. Are you looking to advertise your business or an event you have coming up? Spots are available for as low as $30. Become one of our cousins today. Email us info@tfmradioshow.com. I'm Teresa McDonald, and this has been your highlights for Sunday, June 23rd. The Family Meeting Radio Show starts right now with your host, Eric Grant.
A 2016 study estimates that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft that year. Fight back against identity theft by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
Are you looking for the best residential and commercial laundry service in the Chicagoland area? Then you want PleaseDoMyLaundry.com. That's PleaseDoMyLaundry.com.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
Hi, this is Verna O'Brien with Women's March Illinois, and I listen to The Family Meeting.
This is motivational speaker and author Dan Duster, author of the great-selling book, Peaceful Selling, Easy Sales Techniques to Grow Your Small Business. I listen to The Family Meeting.
Welcome to the worldwide headquarters of The Family Meeting. That sounds official.
It does.
I like doing that. The worldwide headquarters.
I'm telling you, just like the
Well, from the wide world of
Wild
sports.
World of Sports. Every time he does it.
They do that on CNN, too.
Oh yeah, and that's
Worldwide headquarters.
the James Earl Jones still
Family
doing
Meeting, yeah. It's family meeting time. I'm your boy E. News dudes, man. It's so dramatic for no damn reason.
that. Yeah. Breaking.
Listen, I love Bill Curtis, but he's so damn. This is Bill Curtis. You don't talk. I mean, can you imagine hanging out with that dude? And he's at the bar talking. Hi, may I have a drink?
Wait, walk up to him and say, "Hey, Bill, it's Richard Chu. Nice to meet you." How are you, Richard?
Game show host sounding boy. Trusty, thanks for that news the way you do it.
Oh, you're welcome.
The Black Asian dude is here, Richard Chu.
Family.
Richard
Hello.
Chu.
Richard Chu. The Family
Like
Meeting.
us on social media, all over Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But also be sure to visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com, tfmradioshow.com, and share your email address to join the family. You'll also find our archived broadcasts and our music playlist, but most importantly, the live video of this broadcast going on right there, right now. That's tfmradioshow.com. Family Meeting is sponsored by Identity Guard. You know what? Take some time to protect yourself for as little as $6 a month. That's $6, 600 pennies, 6 singles, a 5 and a 1. I did that real quick. See, I did the math there real quick. See,
Yes,
I did
you
that.
did.
See
You
that?
did.
I'm good at math.
But
like
you got a
that.
math
How
degree,
about
so
3 $2 bills?
Yeah, I got one too, by the way.
see, he's got
Visit
enough for advantage.
lookaftermyid.com to learn more. Lookaftermyid.com. Hey, the lines fill quickly. The number is 773-763-9278. 773-763-9278. Go ahead and do that thing, Tressa, for Lisa.
Okay, so wall to wall retro. Our girl Lisa.
Our friends at Wall to Wall
yes,
Retro.
our friends at Wall to Wall. Your hip haven
Hip.
for all things retro. They are having their first annual vintage alley sale. I've never heard of alley sale. I've heard of garage sale,
But that's because
but not an alley sale. It's going to be this coming Saturday and Sunday.
Find garbage in the alley.
I know.
Come on.
I've never heard an alley sale. I'm sure it's going to be great.
But
though.
you know, the garage sale, the garage has 2 doors to it.
Yeah.
That's how she's pulling it off. One side for the yard and the other side for the garage.
That's true.
See?
That's true.
Alley sale.
They are
Okay.
having their first annual vintage alley sale this coming Saturday and Sunday, June 29th and Sunday, June 30th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
She's going to take a break at 4, though.
Is that what she's going to do?
She's going to have to, otherwise she'll miss the broadcast.
Oh, that's right.
Gotta take a break, Lee.
And weather, that's going to be weather permitting. So, and if they're rained out, the rescheduled date is already set.
What's the
July
date?
6th and 7th, again at 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's
Thinking
going to be
ahead.
that's going to be located at 1403 Timber Drive, Elgin, Illinois 60123. You can catch up with Lisa at walltowallretro.com, on Facebook Wall to Wall Retro, or visit their website again walltowallretro.com. They're also on Etsy, walltowallretro.etsy.com.
Etsy.
For an alley sale.
Etsy.
Etsy.
There you go.
Yeah.
I always say Etsy.
It's easy
That's
to
a
do.
trucking
I
company.
didn't know you could sell stuff on Etsy. I didn't know you could. I see
Oh,
stuff
God,
for sale.
yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you could do like eBay on Etsy. I didn't know if you could do that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I found
Yeah.
that out accidentally, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Yeah. And I got to show you guys a picture.
Wait. Look at Eric's rocking a red Howard hat today, and a red T-shirt. He must have.
I got
You
red.
got a whole like closet of.
Oh, no. Remember what he told us?
What?
He flush.
Oh, right.
He
He did.
flush.
I got Howard
With
gear
Howard
for days,
gear.
We
man.
know he
He
does.
flush.
I could wear it for a month straight, man, if I had to.
What you got?
So
Oh, wow.
that's a picture of me in the back of a Cessna yesterday with my loving 17-year-old son.
Driving.
He's flying the damn plane.
Look at his face.
Let me tell you something.
Look at his face.
Me being in the plane with that boy was an error.
Oh, why?
It was an error.
Because at first,
Why was
when
it an
I first looked at
error?
this, I was like, "Who? Oh, that's Eric."
Yeah, that was
Because
an
you
error.
look scared as hell.
Because it was windy yesterday and a little bitty plane was flying sideways.
He looks scared as hell, doesn't he?
Yeah, man.
But his
That,
instructor was right there, and
Ready
Malcolm
to
did
take
an
over.
well,
awesome
he just
job.
gonna die too if he crashed. That's
Oh,
all.
my God.
That's
Oh,
all.
my
But he was
God.
ready to take over. Go, Malcolm.
Take
Go,
over what? Come on, man.
Great job, Malcolm.
Way to go,
Great
Malcolm.
job.
And yeah.
That
Where'd you
that
go?
was an error, man. When we do that, I could hear the game show buzzer.
Gong.
You made a mistake, partner.
You had a little baby gong in there, right?
But
Yeah, I mean,
Where'd you
because
go?
you know how turbulence in a big plane, it rocks you.
Uh-huh.
In a little plane,
It-
It just
hell
tosses
no.
you. It tosses you.
So E,
Hell
so
no.
let me ask
it's
you
like
this
riding a
question.
bumpy ride at the amusement
When
park.
was the first time you? When was the first time you were in a small plane, a 6-seater or a 4?
Years ago.
Okay, yeah. So you've been there before.
Yeah,
It wasn't your first time.
man. But I wasn't no grown man with gray and stuff, man. Like,
Yeah,
like
built
I
up
messed
life
around
fears.
and got myself to 53 almost, and gonna mess around and do that.
Coming around the corner.
That's right.
a
You
month-
know, you done won the game.
Yeah.
You done beat the odds. You made it to 53 almost, and get in the damn plane
Yeah, a
sure.
Cessna.
with a
nonetheless.
17-year-old.
I'm sure it was the type of
No,
plane.
you're
like
not.
that.
You
Listen,
can't possibly be
listen,
sure.
You know how during driver's ed, you've got the driver's ed cars where the driver,
You got
the passenger,
teachers get
the
the
teacher's
brake-
got, yeah,
brake.
he's got braking controls too. I'm sure his instructor had controls.
I felt safer when Malcolm was driving before he had a license.
Well, sure you did. You weren't. Anybody would. You're up in the air.
Why?
I mean, because you can have a car accident and you're just mad because the car jacked up. This ain't no plane
There's no
accident.
coming back from that.
Ain't
right.
no plane accident.
Right.
Oops.
Wait.
I dented the plane.
We dented the plane. Right. Or
You
we
know what?
lost the wheel. We blew out a tire.
Come on, man.
So
when we
my-
came in for the landing, we were literally flying sideways.
Hey.
Come on, man.
So where did you do it? Where'd you go?
We're in Lansing. That's where he's taking his flight lessons out in Lansing.
Nice.
Yeah, he's starting his flight lessons. He's going to try to get all the way through and become a private pilot license.
That is so cool.
But I'll be damned if I'm getting in that plane again with that boy.
How old do you have to be to get your
How old?
private pilot?
I think you have to have a driver's
17.
17.
Just
Yeah.
17 to
It's
be a
like
pilot.
You can get it. You can get a license to fly
When you're 16.
at 14.
I thought it was 16 when you had a driver's
14.
license. 14. Okay. Isn't that cool?
Oh, I want to take flying lessons.
Isn't that cool?
Let's
Yeah.
take flying
Let me tell you
lessons.
something, player. It's expensive as hell, though. Bet you that.
What you trying to say?
Nothing except it's expensive as hell. That's
Oh.
all. Nothing more than that.
Hey, ain't no paper shortage over here.
Get ready.
Hey, man. I could think of something better to do than sit up in that plane flying sideways.
So what did it feel like? Did you kind of go,
It felt like being on a really wild roller coaster.
That's what I said. Yeah,
yeah,
like you
Yeah.
getting. Mm-hmm.
But you 2,000 feet up.
yeah?
I mean, I was eyeballing the clouds, and
But you can see, I shouldn't say you can, I should ask the question. Can you see how people who do fly for a living or do fly small planes or do how they do get into that mode of, when you just said right now, you could see you were eyeballing the clouds, how people, that becomes their passion.
no.
He was just waiting. He said, I'm going to let Rich finish
Yeah,
his
I knew
sentence.
he was going to say that. No.
No. I mean, because you have a sense of security when you're in a jet, and outside seems like it's far away. But when you're in this little thing,
It's right there.
yeah, you just like, because the dude opened the window at some point.
No, he
I'm
didn't.
like, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to, really. You ain't supposed to.
It's
Can't
only
you- can't you
2,000
sit-
feet.
Eric, you want to say, can't you see the look on my face?
No, I was trying to be cool back there. I didn't want Malcolm to think Daddy's a punk, so I was cool.
Well,
Well, he knows
it
that.
now.
He
No,
knows
no, of
that.
course, I told him I'm not getting the damn thing ever again, player. I'm not. No,
Really?
no, no.
And Malcolm,
Why would I do that?
And Malcolm, who
A support.
Support? What do you mean support?
You support your baby.
I do support him. I pay for the damn lessons.
Tressa, and Malcolm, who has grown from the shy Malcolm
Right.
to Malcolm's got a personality
Yes,
and
he
sense of humor
does.
now.
Yes,
he was
he
probably in the
does.
back of his mind going, I can't believe my daddy don't want to fly with me.
See?
Well, he can believe me. He can believe me.
To hurt the baby
Believe
feelings.
not. His feelings ain't hurt. Malcolm don't care less. He just care about the bill being paid. That's all he care about. That's all he care about.
Gosh.
I told you guys I was on I-94 headed to Wisconsin this week on Wednesday, right at about Racine, and I see in my rearview mirror a huge fireball.
Wow.
Turns out some sort of a truck crashed and exploded, and I ain't never seen no explosion like that in person. I guess I really didn't see it in person then because it was in my rearview mirror. It was a reflection but being in the vicinity of an explosion that went hundreds of feet in the air. I mean, it's like an atomic bomb looking plume of fire.
Yeah.
It was fiery, fireball. It's crazy, man. Never seen nothing like that before. Yeah. I was about a half a mile in front of it.
That's crazy. And you saw that much of it.
Yeah. I mean, I was close enough where the fireball, I could see it going up, and then it disappeared out of my rearview mirror.
Come on.
It was that high.
That's crazy.
Crazy, man.
That's
2 people died. I think 2 people were hurt.
2 people died and 3 people were hurt. Both.
3.
In other words, the way the reports are saying is there was a truck driver in the southbound lane that did a lane change. Okay, and when he did the lane change, he overcorrected and went back and hit the median because they're doing construction right in that area, and he pushed the median barrier out into traffic. So when he pushed the median barrier out into traffic, 3 cars in the northbound lane hit the barrier, and the truck that exploded, in an effort to avoid hitting those cars and plowing into other cars, he just swerved his truck, but he swerved it at a point of the highway where it veered off, and it went off the side of the highway down about 20, 30 feet. And just that's where the explosion was. Because like I said, those trucks carry, with those 2 tanks, they carry about 100 to 200 gallons of fuel.
It was crazy. It was very crazy.
Wow.
And this is one of those times when we do say we send our thoughts and prayers to those
definitely
families
send our thoughts
because
and prayers.
this was truly an accident.
It was.
Did you see my boy Ta-Nehisi Coates in the reparations hearing this week?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man.
That's
I catch my share of looks or thoughts over the top about Howard. Because I'm wearing my Howard gear and I got my Howard hat on and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. Ta-Nehisi, he's younger than me.
He is.
He had, I think it was 3 or 4 siblings, all of whom went to Howard.
Nice.
I think partially because his dad Paul worked in the library at Howard, so he probably got free tuition. But
you know what?
I'm just but Paul.
But they went.
Paul is a hell of a dude. Paul Coates is Ta-Nehisi's father. He reads. He's a librarian. That's what he does. So he is a learned dude. But my point is, what you saw from him in that hearing was quintessential Howard.
Preparation, commitment. I got to give it up. It was poetic. He was so prepared.
And I know what y'all saying. You over the top, blah blah blah.
No. And you know what? Even if you are, you get to be that way because he, as our folks used to say, he showed out.
So, but here's the thing that confirms what I'm telling you is Ta-Nehisi will tell you that. He'll tell you this is Howard talking. Yeah. This is my daddy. What he put in me, and Howard organized it for me. And this is what you hear. He'll tell you that. I don't have to tell you. Ask him. Yeah. He'll tell you.
It was powerful. And you could feel that it was just it was one of those
moments.
What
is the whole reparations conversation about? What do we want? How can you ever repair?
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you tried to quantify
nothing in this world could ever make up for that.
If you try to quantify it in terms of dollars, you're exactly right. It's too big a number. But if you quantify it in terms of opportunity, it's manageable.
So what do we want?
We have to take a break first.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Because, the other side who are opposed to reparations, they had some ashy-handed Negroes come on the air with
they did.
them.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I ain't gonna.
It's so funny.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Man, please, if your mama was alive.
Yeah, right. I know.
Your great-grandmama, all of them.
Yeah.
The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Girl, you're looking fine. And I wonder, can you spare a minute of your precious time? I really would like to know
I'm Raquel Gibson from the law offices of Raquel Gibson, and the family meeting will be right back.
Maybe I can discuss it over a dance with you. When I'm dancing with
Make a smart financial move for retirement. Make your retirement money into an IRA. Scheduled income. Support your dream. Explore investment options. Gain full control over your money. Give the money a chance for additional tax-deferred growth. How do you start? Call Polaris Wealth Management, the resource for IRA rollovers. Call 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris Wealth Management is the resource for IRA rollovers. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We help new retirees plan to protect their money. Securities offered through Line Street Financial LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Line Street Advisors LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Line Street are not affiliated.
This is Richard Chu, owner of First Capital Insurance Group, and my message is do what is doable. We each have a different measure of financial success. My mission is to help you define your financial goals in light of a realistic budget and time horizon. I want you to have a great year and a great life, but we have to keep it real. Is your retirement plan giving you the protection, interest rate, and cash you'll need in retirement? If you've had issues with your 401k, IRA, or other financial programs, give us a call. We have proven solutions and we can help. My direct number is 312-243-3907. Let's talk soon. Or visit my website, firstcig.com. That's the number 1, stcig.com.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Line Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Line Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Line Street Financial are not affiliated.
exist in a state of vainglorious as we are protected by the red, the black, and the green. Heed the words of the brother, sissy.
Let us the words, word to phrase, to paragraph. Heed math as Jay begins class. Science of past is now brought to the rhyme fix. From the scroll, straight to the verse. God to gods, from gods to man. Many kings, many leaders, a fist from a hand. They call me militant, now what does this mean? Do I carry a gun to make an army scene? For the cause will never pause, as simply as the brother. Raise the flag, wave the colors. Red, black, green with the key, the difference. Words make a way in the world in an instant. Living to die and I die to
I'm Zena Smith, the owner of Masters Plus Tutoring Program in Homewood, Illinois, and welcome back to the family meeting.
Had to play some black stuff. We're talking about reparations here.
Do you see where
Heed the word of the brother.
Do you see where Samuel L. Jackson's going to play George Clinton in his
No.
yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I was watching the George Clinton concert on Saturday night.
Uh-huh.
He was sitting in a chair.
He old. He old.
Yeah, he is old.
He was sitting in the chair when he came to Chicago. What was it, last summer? Or the summer before that?
I think it was summer before.
Yeah, he's
like
old.
all that standing and stuff. I'm done with that.
I'm done with
Yeah,
that.
he old.
Not going to happen with that no more.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, the reparations conversation started this week. Of course, I can't understand. Well, I can understand why there are people who are against the legislation that's asking for the conversation.
A study.
Right.
Just
They
a
don't.
study.
They don't.
A study.
They
Never need
keep
to
in
they know
mind
what
now,
they're gonna
for,
find.
for those of you who are on that side of the ledger, who are against the HR 40, I think it is.
Yeah.
HR 40.
Unless you read something, you don't realize this is legislation that asks about studying it.
Just a study.
It's not offering reparations.
Yeah.
It's not about writing black people a check. It's none of that, which
don't
is
want-
what they're going around
And
saying.
furthermore, we don't even want a check. We don't
No.
want a handout. We've never asked for a handout. All we want is the playing field to be leveled.
And we can't speak for all black people, but I'm confident in what you just said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
We want you to take your foot off our necks.
Just take your foot off our necks.
That's it.
I would accept that
Yeah,
more so than quicker than a check.
And you
understand
consciously
what I'm saying?
and it has to have some bite to it. In other words, if
I don't care if there's any bite to it.
no.
Well, it has to be though. If your foot,
yeah.
there has to be a penalty for you putting your foot back on her neck.
Right.
Oh, afterwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. That's
Yes.
Thank you for
Now
thanks,
that
E, for
part,
cleaning that
yes.
up.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because
Yes.
Absolutely.
because then you can't slip up. Then you can't say, "Well, I didn't know any better,"
Right.
or "We didn't do." Because one of the big excuse points is, or justification points is, and you guys have heard it. Well, I don't own any slaves. My mom and dad didn't own any slaves. In fact, my grandparents didn't own any slaves. That ain't the point.
Yeah, that's what Turtle said.
And
No,
so-
I don't think anyone is still alive that was involved.
And Ta-Nehisi made the point that we are in treaties and agreements right now that are 150 years old that we're still living by.
They're
Right.
still paying.
Yeah.
They're still paying.
And so that,
Not to mention, they paid reparation to slave owners.
yeah,
That's like, remember that dude that held those girls in captive in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Hispanic guy?
yeah.
That's like saying, hey, man, listen, we're going to lock you up for holding them, but we're going to give you some money for having fed them for all those years.
Yeah. And then I'll bring it to even to a current sort of weird comparison. A black kid gets arrested and taken straight to jail for doing something, whatever it might be. A white kid gets arrested and taken to Burger King to get him a sandwich before they take his ass to
See,
jail.
why you bring that up?
Because I had to.
I went to go see Emmanuel, the movie. I told y'all that, right?
Yeah.
You know who's promoting that movie in a big way? Tom Steyer, the
And
billionaire.
they showed the video of them actually, of his confession, when they actually arrested him, and they made specific references and made a point to point out, look at how the officers are approaching this car. Now this has gone out on the radio that you're about to apprehend the guy that shot and killed 9 people. And when you get there and you see that he's just in the car not doing anything, not only is your gun is drawn initially, but then you holster it back and walk around. He was just accused of shooting 9 people, so he could very well be armed. But you holster your
See,
weapon.
that's the spider and butterfly thing again.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you see the we're jumping around a little bit. I want to get back to reparations. But
Definitely.
did you see the attorney for the administration arguing against the detainees
Yes.
getting toothpaste and
Getting
soap?
toothpaste and soap.
Yeah.
Okay, only, by the way,
But see, this is not
so they
jumping
looked up a story about this woman who was testifying that way, and they caught her advocating for animals.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But not human beings.
So-
because they are animals,
and
she thinks her damn dog ain't an animal.
So Tressa, Eric, I know you said we're bouncing around.
How do you go to court and argue that?
But in actuality, this is the big picture. This is what people miss. We are treated with zero respect. That's the underbelly of the conversation about reparations.
Thank you for taking us
Absolutely.
back there.
That's
Absolutely.
the underbelly
It is.
of the conversation,
Yeah.
because
It
they
is.
look at us and say, well, they don't deserve it and they're not worthy of it. And I didn't have slaves. And why don't we move on? Why do we have to keep talking about this? Because y'all keep doing the same damn stuff in different, it's just got a different window dressing
Yeah,
on it.
and
but
they're
it's the
still
same stuff.
benefiting from the actions of slavery from
today.
Today,
People
they're
don't-
still benefiting from that.
So if reparations came in the form of opportunity, that represents more of what could make things right. That is interest-free business and mortgages, right? That would be tuition-free. I'd even pay for the housing, but tuition-free.
But the tuition portion, yeah,
tuition-free
in college,
post-secondary.
Yeah.
So that could be
Yes.
trade school
Yes.
or college,
whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Every African American
Right.
should get
Right.
that
So
opportunity.
now you got a house, you got a business, you got an opportunity to get education. Fully funded public school educations where people of color mostly preside.
Yep.
Funded correctly, right? It needs to be on par with the schools that are well funded, right?
That are still public schools.
For
but
the
just
next
diff-
400
But just
years?
different neighborhoods.
For the next 400 years or forever.
Next 400 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
We'll let you off after 400,
well,
just like
that's
y'all let
good.
us off after 400.
Right.
Well, technically, they didn't let us off after 400.
'Cause we still on.
Yeah, because we're still on.
right.
But
Fully
you know.
endow all of the HBCUs that remain.
Yep.
Fully endow them all so that people have a legitimate opportunity.
To carry that to the next level
Right.
based on public schooling.
Okay, so I started trying to add that up, and I haven't finished yet, but I will, and I'll present that. But I don't even care what it costs. It
Yeah.
makes sense. Not to mention, and this is the part that I think that the people who make the argument fail at. They fail at making the business case.
I knew you were going there.
Reparations.
Yep.
I mean, the opportunity, the boost to the economy, for doing this. Keep in mind now, we're talking about a group of people who've been subjugated for many generations. So now they're a meaningful contributor to the economy.
You want to know what the argument I heard the other day that I had?
What?
Well, okay. Reparations, yeah. Well, they're making weed legal now. So you guys, that's your industry right there.
Stop,
you can go.
man.
I promise you.
Were you with arms length to
Listen,
grab?
Why you hang around with people like that?
Were you able
Who was
to?
that?
See, you don't
Who told
have,
you that?
See, trust
Give me a noun.
See, you don't have long arms like I do.
Listen.
I got a 36-inch sleeve.
The
so
look on my face was for real. For real.
Yeah. So, I'm
They're
sorry.
They're
I just
going to
lost my train of
exonerate and the sentencings and are going to be dismissed. For real. That's only thing you can attribute.
Well,
that we could.
Because when they talk about black people, they immediately say, "Well, we did crime reform." I ain't worried about no damn crime reform.
You and me ain't.
No.
No, I mean, but
and the majority of them aren't.
Why are we attributing the issue of crime reform to something that benefits black people?
Okay, so listen, guys, that we're
And
you know how time
as to say that black people are the only ones commit crime.
Right, exactly.
Hold on a second. Right.
Yeah.
So our reparations will be, well, we're not going to be as tough on you on crime. Excuse me? Wait, hold on a second. This is the part that I laugh about with this conversation about reparations. I always laugh when I'm talking to someone that's white, whether they be narrow-minded or not, and they say, well, that back of the throat conversation, that was a long time ago, and they go down the list of all the black achievement, quote.
Oprah. And
they got to 10.
We elected a black president because Turtle said that.
Right.
He let that slide out his filthy mouth.
The same dude, wait, hold up. The same dude that said one term, we're
Y'all
going to
know
block
I
everything.
wanted to cuss on that.
Wait, hold on a second. So I was in Walgreens, and one of the ladies that works at Walgreens in my office, she said, Richard, I know you've got to be hot this week. And I said, yeah, how about that? Her name's Alicia. And so we were talking about this in the context of what's got you most upset? I said, this is the same dude that said one term, block all legislation, steal a Supreme Court justice. I said, if he walked by the Walgreens right now, you all would have to sit on me because I said y'all would have to
be beating you out.
I said you'd have to sit on me because otherwise I'd be in jail because I'd push him into the river. Now let's bring that back to some reality in terms of conversation. Eric, this is where you talk about economic violence. See, reparations is a correction for economic violence. Let's not even get into, if we take away the conversation about slavery, if we take about all that stuff, everything, and just get down to the things that we were prevented after slavery. Let's just say
that's what Ta-Nehisi laid out in the case
That
of
is exactly
reparations.
what he laid out.
He told us forget slavery. Let's just talk about everything after slavery.
After, yep. That was the point where I was like, get him.
One of my friends whose heritage is Polish had the nerve to say, had the nerve to say to me, well, Richard, my family, and he went down that road, and I had to slow him down. I said, hold on, man. I said, wait a second. You realize, I asked him this question. I said, genuinely, when did your family, your ancestors get to the United States of America?
Welcomed, by the way.
1912. I said, okay, so you understand that there are black men in this country who were born that same year and that their parents were descendants, that their parents were slaves. I said, so all that your family has built was on
you walked into opportunity.
Was that we created
by
here,
people of color.
Came here.
And he was stuck because all he could do is then say, yeah, but there's, and then he pulled the game plan, which is you got Oprah, you got Tiger, you got Michael, you got Barack. And I was like, but see, that's the point.
The problem is that those are the exceptions, not the rule. That's the problem. And every social statistic you can point to, people of color suffer disproportionately. That's the problem.
That's the
That
problem.
really is the problem.
And all you got to do is go to a southern state and go not even to a rural community. You can go to Meridian, Mississippi. We know this. You can go.
Right. But I think the mistake lies in the inability to effectively state the business case. First off, they need to dissuade people from thinking it's a check, because you've got people on all sides of the political spectrum who think, well, we can't afford it, blah blah blah. It ain't really about that.
No, it's not.
Well, some would argue.
And the long-term
some would
impact.
argue that you already get in the check. You get your welfare, you get your food stamps, you get your Section 8 housing, you get this.
The fact that we need that is
How
the problem.
about if we
that's
flip?
the problem.
How about if we flip the script on every person that's not black, that uses that as their justification to say, okay, so then how about if we trade places? If you think it wasn't so bad and hasn't had impact, why don't we trade places? How about like Chris
Why
Rock
you always
said?
asking questions you know the answer?
Because I like to put people on the hot seat when it comes to this craziness. I literally, friend, family, or foe, I like to put
Or
them
like
on the hot
that
seat.
Little House on the Prairie episode that had Ty Bridges in it, and he told Michael Landon that he asked the white man, would he rather live 50 years as a black man or 100 years? No, 100 years as a black man or 50 years as a white man.
Yeah.
And he said 50 years as a white man.
Of course he would. Yeah, I'd like to live 100 years as a white man. Not really, but anyway. So the business case. I mean, what happens? What then happens if you're an economist? I thought Juliana Melvo did a great job explaining the economist's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
What then happens is if now you have people of color who have a legitimate opportunity to get a post-secondary education, right, without the burden of heavy tuition costs. If you had people of color able to more readily buy homes, to get the loans they need to start businesses, what then happens to the society and the economy?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question you got to ask yourself. It is, if you drop the check in everybody's hand, you could also quantify that too,
right?
From an economic
It's
standpoint,
going to get spent. It's going to get utilized.
That's what
take
isn't
that
that
check
what
right
one
to
of the
Walmart.
presidential candidates want to do? Yang wants to do
wants
that.
to
Well, he
do
wants to
1,000.
do a living wage, but for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like $1,000 a month, though. It's
Yeah.
like, it's nominal.
And then what's her name? I almost said the wrong woman. The one that said we're going to impeach the MF or what's in Detroit.
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not
I know you talking about.
Her, yeah.
She said, we need to do the same thing across the board. But she specifically said in communities of color. She's the other Muslim woman that was elected to Congress.
Right.
But she made the business case for it.
Right.
She made a clear
That's
business
where
case.
they're making a huge error, and they're going to allow this thing to get caught up in a morass of discussion and untruths.
Every single
and it won't go anywhere.
Isn't part of that though? Who's asking the questions? Who's holding the hearings? And who's directing the
See, I didn't like how that went either.
No, my point is, that's what I'm saying. That's what's going to get it way over here in the weeds and not be a conversation
Right.
about the business
'Cause
case.
if you
they're going
truly
to want
want
to talk about the
to-
social impact. And, we're
Yeah.
past all that now. And
And if
look
you
at all,
truly are passionate about this, you're going to ask the right questions and you're going to put it in the proper light that it needs to be in. If you're not passionate about it and you just, let's move on, then your questions that you may, because that's what worries me about having a study, is who's asking the questions,
Absolutely.
who's actually doing the studying. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want this to be something that's kind of rushed over and made to be nothing. Oh, well, we looked into it, but we really didn't find it. You spent all of what? 2 weeks?
well, there's already
If
people.
they have those ashy-handed brothers that they had on the panel, no, they can't have them in the room.
There's already people that are saying. There's
This
already
dude
people.
kept referring to California, and he kept talking about Christianity, and he was implying that black people weren't Christian or Christ-like. And dude, what the hell are you talking about, man?
And what was crazy about that,
Did you see that, Negro?
I was sitting there going, wait a minute, you got to be kidding me that because first of all, if we go to Africa, if we
the Coon of the Week award.
Yes, he won the Coon of the Week award.
Yeah, he took that from Candace. What's
Candace,
her name?
She's a cooness.
Coonette.
Almost cussed.
I know you did.
I don't care. Anybody listening now thinking, well, that's offensive, you shouldn't talk. You can kick rocks too.
That
with
hoochie.
with flip flops on.
I'm gonna call her
Sharp
Hoochie
rocks.
instead of what I wanted to call her.
The congresswoman I was referring
insane.
to is Rashida Tlaib.
Yes.
But she's
yes.
made the
That's
business
insane.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where they're going to make an error. And I think, to be honest with you, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, But I think there are those on the left
Mm-hmm.
who put the stake in the ground and say they're for reparations,
but won't do anything.
Or they're going to argue it, and it's not going to be the business case.
Yeah.
And that is their attempt at conjuring up or
saying that we stand for it, but not having this again.
No. But they're going to say things that light up the right to make them get aggressive about saying no.
So that it makes them look like they're down with it, but the right is
Right.
not. So I got it. I got you. Didn't
But
think
at the
about
end of
that.
the day, it equals a sum of zero. Is what you're
Right,
trying to say.
because fighting for legislation that's a study is easy.
Yeah.
That's easy to do, right? Fighting for
have a
legislation that
zero-sum
actually
game.
implements the study, then we'll see who's the man here.
Yeah.
The number is 773-763-9278. I see Steve, Maine, Norbert, and Chris. You guys are next. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
It's an atmosphere that you both still share when one's not there. There's no real way it can be explained. I guess it's the way I smile when I hear your name. It's the little things you do that mean so much. It's the care that you put into every touch. It's the way I trust you.
This is Jackie
and you
Britt,
trust
manager
me.
at First Star Daycare Center. My website is First Star Daycare at Live. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
If it wasn't for you, I'd be that way still. But lately, there's a change in John Lil.
The reason that it's important to advertise on the Family Meeting is that we have an economical way of reaching a great audience. One could say it's not cheap, but what we like to say is that it's an effective buy for a business or an individual who wants to reach a quality audience. The reason that it's important or a good place to advertise is that our cousins love to patronize. I'm Richard Chu, also known as Bad, the Black Asian dude with the Family Meeting. For more information on advertising on the Family Meeting, you can reach us at info@tfmradioshow.com. That's info@tfmradioshow.com. You can also contact us at area code 708-794-6444, 708-794-6444.
A single K plan is a 401k plan designed especially for business owners and immediate family, regardless if they are incorporated or not. Single Ks offer both employer and employee contributions and in many cases have no setup fee or annual plan administrative charges. Single Ks are simple to administer with no government reporting required. Most importantly, this plan allows employees to access their savings via hardship withdrawals or loans. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com or call us about your business or organization's retirement plan at 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris provides empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
Mom, Dad, let's talk. It seems like only yesterday your parents were offering you advice, but now you could be in a position to help them. Do they have a plan? How would they handle a long-term care event? Are they prepared emotionally and financially for the future? Starting those conversations can be challenging. Call Polaris Insurance Agency and we'll send you the Let's Talk guide free of charge. Call 888-355-7154. Again, 888-355-7154.
Good afternoon, Chicago. My name is Timothy Hicks, Marine Corps vet. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
What are you talking about?
We don't
tell a story.
We
About
don't
cutting grass or
we don't need
something?
us. Put your headphones on, baby.
Oh.
We don't need us. We don't really need a
we
study.
back?
To
My
your
bad.
point, we just need to go. Okay, we know what happened. The information is right.
It's already
there.
there. There's no
We're
study
letting
that
them
even
get away
exists.
with this study
The
thing.
study, yeah.
This has been studied over and over and over. Been written about many
Wait,
times.
E, you know
In fact,
what?
one of the brothers on the panel said this is that American slavery is one of the most studied and written about
Thank
issues
you.
in the world.
Thank you.
Right.
Every little bit is laid out there for everybody to know. It just needs to be quantified now and addressed with a problem.
Can we balance this out with something else that we know a big check got written for? We didn't have to conduct the study to do any reparations for Holocaust victims and survivors.
It didn't take very long to do that. It didn't do that long to pay reparations to slave owners.
Nope, not at all. And
which don't even work for me.
Check this out.
How come these dudes got reparations?
You know who one of the biggest supporters of reparations is? You will never believe this.
Who?
George Takei.
Really?
From Star Trek. You know why?
He was in prison too, though.
But no.
Yeah, because he was in the internment camp.
But he says it's not even a conversation.
Yeah.
If you follow, he says it's not even a conversation. He said we need to get this done now.
I think the Japanese got reparations.
Yeah, they did.
You.
Well, that's why I'm saying it, because he said.
So why not us?
Because we got a better tan.
Because we're spiders.
We got a better tan. That's why. And anybody that wants to defy that and come up with rationalizations and justifications and all that, you can kick rocks. And I don't care if you're black, white, green, or purple. I don't care if you're a liberal or Democrat.
What do they find these Negroes?
I don't care.
What do they find these dudes?
But there are some that would argue, okay, when you were freed, we gave you equal rights.
No, you didn't.
We gave you
No.
We gave you that.
No.
You know, you have citizenship because
but we let them get away with thinking that they gave us that.
Right.
Yeah.
They should have never had it.
So
it's
maybe some will
Malcolm-
say that that's our reparations.
Well, they can say that all day long.
It's not reparations. I know you know that.
I
I know you
I'm
know
playing
that.
devil's advocate here.
But but that's the problem. The people that we expect to argue on our behalf, let that conversation go on.
Yeah,
and
they got
that's
wrong
the problem. That's
but I
why
think some would argue that the point of reparations is to make something
Look,
whole again.
to repair it.
To repair it.
But they're letting this thing go on with the study thing. If they had some nuts about them, they would be arguing for reparations and not a damn study.
Forget the study.
It's been studied.
Let's just get it done.
But people got their hair on fires just about the study.
Here's the thing that
and they're letting that go on
because they know two things: one, the study ain't gonna talk about a damn thing. It's a delay tactic, and two, they're scared of if the study's done correctly, what it's really going to show. But let me drop this on everybody. Jesus,
because empirical data is a mother.
It is. So I'm not one to run to church every Sunday and all that. I do my thing, and we've talked about this. Doesn't change my spirituality one bit.
No.
But I'll tell you this: Jesus said that he was about repairing souls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, America needs to get about repairing some people as well.
Yeah.
Those who want to run around being Christians.
And they don't even want to get the immigrants toothpaste and soap. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see? Okay, let me get the phones, man. Let me get Steve calling from the
my
Gold Coast.
God.
Steve, what's up, man?
Did you get this?
Okay, they didn't. Hold on, Steve. I'll flip the button again, man. They didn't flip the button, Steve. Sorry, man. Did you see Pence on television this morning?
No, I missed that. What happened?
He was being interviewed on, I think it was Face the Nation.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, Jake Tapper.
Okay.
He was on Jake Tapper, and let me give you an example. I'm paraphrasing. Thanks. I'm paraphrasing. Jake asked him, "Do you think it's right to deprive children of toothpaste and soap, have them sleeping on floors under a aluminum foil blanket?" And his answer was, "I think it's wrong for them to cross the border."
This is the guy who...
Damn the toothpaste and the soap.
Yeah.
And kids sleeping on the floor and being separated from their parents. They shouldn't have came.
Anybody who is a...
He basically said, that's what you get.
That's what you get.
That's exactly what what they've been
Tressa,
saying to begin with.
And here's the thing.
That's what you get.
Here's the
So
thing.
whole
he's not the
separation.
problem. It's the evil people who support that.
It's
Yeah.
and he's supposed to be this quote unquote godly Christian, blah 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 blah
We won't even
man.
talk
And
about
people
that.
wonder
Overseer.
people wonder why folks have an issue with religion, formed dogmatic religion. When you got somebody who's supposed... See, I'm glad I didn't see
Yeah,
that,
but the
Eric.
first thing they're going to say
I would have
is
broke my
that
television.
He's not really a Christian. They're going to go down that line.
But
no.
you know what
You
they're
need to go
doing.
tell him.
They have to create this otherism.
Because they're
They
scared.
have to.
They're scared,
because
Tressa.
there's no other way that this man is going to keep his base riled up the way he does without creating
I don't
this
know how.
otherism.
I don't know how, as a human being, you with a straight face cannot deal with that question head on.
'Cause he's the
about
Antichrist.
something as simple as soap and toothpaste. You know what? The good answer. The good answer would have been.
Can I have
you know what? I'm going to go back to the White House when we leave here. I'm going to make sure those kids have toothpaste and soap. And it would have been done. But he's so damn evil, he can't even answer like that.
Or he could have even said this. You know what? In my opinion, they shouldn't have come here. Their parents shouldn't have brought them. But now that they're here, that's minimum. He could have said that.
And not to mention the fact that they're violating the Constitution.
Well,
by denying them.
No, right, so let me get phones. Let me get phones here because they work now. Hey, Steve, what's up, man?
All right, do you hear me this time?
I can hear you this time.
I swear every week with the technical.
It's always something.
How you think
this is an alley here. The studio's an alley.
I understand. Actually, you already raised a couple of points that I wanted to raise, and that is that this is, to some extent, a head fake. I mean, look, this issue has been introduced and reintroduced. It's over the last, since the Civil Rights Movement has become an acute American topic within academia and other scholarly circles, such that we've really discussed it. Now, it's been going on for longer than that, but in terms of an actual, shall we say, viable public policy issue, and John Conyers has introduced legislation for over 2 decades prior to leaving office, that went nowhere. And this is pretty much what he was asking for, is a study to just talk about what it would mean. And now, what do we get out of this now that we are going to get this study? It doesn't mean, as you pointed out, doesn't mean that we're going to see any actual manifestation in terms of anybody getting anything out of it. And the question is, is it just going to placate a few people who have an interest in this? But in the end, is it going to get anywhere? I mean, I think it's a non-issue issue only because about 90% of white people oppose it. About a third of African Americans oppose it. Don't ask me why, but they do. And Hispanic and Asian Americans, with the largest growing demographic, actually have less support for it than whites do. So, and then assuming that you could get everyone in America to agree on it, and you'd have to get it through the legislature, you'd have to get a president.
See what you just said right there, Steve. All of that data that you just said is the problem.
Right. It is.
What
but it's
is
also
it?
The reality.
But why is it that number of people can look at African Americans knowing the history not support it?
That's a different topic. Now you're talking about re-educating the American.
I don't have to re-educate. Everybody knows the history.
But they don't know it. They don't know. I mean, we're giving Americans a lot of credit with regard to their understanding.
They know that there was slavery. They know that slavery was wrong. Correct.
Let him finish. Go ahead, Steve.
I mean, with all due respect, I think that we should give people a degree of, so we say, points when they go out to vote, because I think that someone who has an extensive background in political science should be entitled to more of a, shall we say, voting credit than, say, the average Trump voter. But unfortunately, my vote doesn't count any more than the idiot who voted for Donald Trump. And in that scenario, unfortunately, everybody has the same degree of power, and the ignorant people who do not understand the concept of injustice.
So would you advocate for African Americans having their votes being weighted and counted as 2 votes instead of 1?
Well, I
could that be a form of reparations?
I advocate for enlightened people having more. I think that if you,
I think people have already been enlightened. I think people are woke. Where do you stand on this side of the issue, Steve? Where do you stand for reparations?
I believe that there is a great case to be made in terms of the injustice that has been committed against African Americans.
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. I want to know. I want to know where you stand. Do you feel that African Americans deserve?
Yes.
Okay. And if you do, what would that look like? Wait. If you just said you did. So what would that look like? How?
But that's my point, is when you ask me a yes/no question, it means you have to give me a context in which, because I'm not for giving out checks. I am for things that would actually help people over generations, such as subsidizing educational opportunities. Again, as you talked about home ownership, in terms of opportunities with regard to a consideration.
Okay. So when the vote comes up, we can count on Steve. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you can.
All right.
But again, but the problem being, again, is not everybody is on that page.
I don't care about everybody, Steve. It's just me and you today. It's just me and you today, boo.
But you and I wish you and I got to make the public policy. We don't.
We
don't get to make it.
And when you get in your situations and your circles, tell everybody how Steve feels and make the case for us, okay?
Oh, I believe so. Now, just I don't want to muddy the waters here, because I think it's fairly clear in terms of the the just cause that you can make, the argument that you can make for this. When you start talking about the gray areas, this is where you get the Bernie Sanders argument, and where he feels that, yes, there's a huge amount of injustice that's been committed against African Americans and Native Americans, but then he doesn't want to stop there. He believes that everyone in society who's disadvantaged should be advantaged in a fundamental restructuring of society.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with him on that. However, there isn't one person here, well, not on this panel, I should say. And if a person is truly having their eyes open and looked at what has happened in this country over the past 100 years or so, since we were supposed to be free, think about this, Steve. Where have we been made whole?
Right, and that's a great case. But I'm asking you this,
because I don't want to hear about. Wait. I'm like, wait a minute. You were talking about Bernie Sanders, how Bernie Sanders is making a case that everybody hasn't been enslaved. Everybody hasn't been disproportionately jailed. Everybody hasn't been disproportionately denied.
Do you agree that people tend to vote their interest? Yes or no?
I don't care about that.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Now,
if they understand them, yeah.
Bernie Sanders and others have basically made the case that, you know what, things like health care.
So there's no interest, there's no business case for making reparations for black people.
But he's not defending Bernie. He's just pointing out that.
No. Wait, Steve, hold on a second. What I'm doing with Steve is I'm trying to get Steve pinned down on something.
But he already agreed, Tress. I mean, in all fairness, he said
he did agree, but it's a but. It's always
because the issue of public policy here is more complex than a straightforward answer. So again, I mean, when we go back to Bernie Sanders,
why is it?
Let me make my point. Let me make the point here. Bernie Sanders cannot manage to get people to provide support for an initiative that says that all Americans should recognize that health care is a right. So in other words, you can't get a lot of white people to agree that other white people should be given health care in America. How in that system are we going to get those people to agree that African Americans should be given something that white people aren't going to be given? We can't even agree that white people, who are the vast majority of Americans, should be given free health care. How in that system are we going to get reparations passed for African Americans?
Let me tell you exactly how, Steve, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you're a person that we rely on. When you're in mixed company, when you're in company that may have people who disagree with reparations, we need you and people like you to argue vigorously to the point where you may make enemies over the course about reparations.
That's what I was saying.
That's what we need. You can't live comfortably around people who stand against it.
And that's what Tressa was trying to say about when she was saying, I want you to look at this outside of the context of how much sense it makes, but what are you going to actually commit to getting it changed? And that's where
and we're not in the same room you are.
Yeah,
we don't,
because we can't influence those people like you can.
Right, and you're right to a certain extent. On the other hand, I'm not necessarily going to adjust my sort of social environment to where I'm in a room with a lot of idiots, on purpose.
But they don't have to be idiots, Steve. That's the thing.
Most of the people I know already agree on this issue. So
right.
I mean,
okay.
I agree with you.
I'm not about to go to a country club in Mississippi to hang out and try and convince other people.
They're not just in Mississippi though. They walk among us every day.
They're just north of us.
So we all encounter them. And my point is, you shouldn't change your social circle. I'm saying in those rare instances where you're in mixed company, you need to be very vigorous, because it's only you that can make that argument to change the numbers you highlighted early in your progress, in your discussion.
Well, the last point on that is that it's been my experience that you can get Americans to debate about a lot of things: foreign policy, domestic economy, so forth. Even, like I said, healthcare. I can't remember the last time I was in a room with non-academics, non-scholars, where the issue of reparations came up. So
then bring it up. Then bring it up.
You're right. It would be incumbent upon me to actually bring it up somehow.
Right. Yeah. And be vigorous about your discussion. That's all we need, man.
Yeah, and that goes back to what Tressa was saying. When you and we got to wrap up, but that's where you have the most amount of impact, is when you're in that audience and you can say, "Hey guys, no, we need to look at this from a different perspective."
Yeah, Steve, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
My man, Steve. You all right, Shorty?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I love Steve. Steve, you know I love you. I love having the conversations, but I hate it when there's always a but. besides what we're
Yeah, you're
talking
right.
about.
Yeah.
I hate that.
All right, time for the news. Top of the hour. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
This is DeAndre Edwards, assistant coach of the West Inglewood Tigers. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Identity theft occurs when someone gains access to your personally identifiable information and uses it without your knowledge. Stolen information can include your social security number, credit card numbers, email login information, driver's license number, and much more. Once someone begins exploiting your identity, there are literally hundreds of ways they can affect your finances, medical coverage, and yes, even government records. Fight back against identity theft with Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your valuable credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection and more. Protect your ID for as little as $6 per month. Yes, $6 per month by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard. Do it today. The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. We are an intimate aromatherapy, massage, bath, and body shop. We have the best aromatherapy, bath, and skincare products available. You can find us in Chicago and on the World Wide Web. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 3 blocks east of Harlem Avenue. 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the family meeting news.
I'm Teresa McDonald, and here are real news stories from real research that we are following here at the family meeting. The separation of church and state in the United States has taken yet another blow, this time in Alabama. Republican Governor Kay Ivey has signed legislation allowing a Presbyterian church to perform state-like functions, get this y'all, by establishing its own police force for its churches and schools. Yep. The law, which was approved during the most recent legislative session, permits the Birmingham-based Briarwood Presbyterian Church to establish a private law enforcement agency that would have the powers to make arrests if crimes are committed on church grounds or on its private school campuses. Officials at the church claim that such a private police force is needed to secure the church and the 2,000 students and faculty on the 2 private school campuses it owns and operates. The law, which is set to come into effect this fall, allows the church to deploy the private law enforcement agency in the 2 counties where the church has such facilities and grants their police the powers typically restricted to public police agencies. Ain't that something? You hear that?
Because stupid stuff's gonna happen.
Oh my God. And finally, a pharmacy warned the Food and Drug Administration that it found a chemical believed to cause cancer in a widely used blood pressure medication. Who's more prone to blood pressure, y'all? According to a filing from the federal agency, Valisure, an online pharmacy company licensed in 37 states, told the FDA last week that high levels of dimethylformamide were found in valsartan.
Big word alert.
A drug, it's a known carcinogen. Okay. A drug produced by Swiss
you
drug
say it's
maker.
Known?
It's a known carcinogen.
Okay.
Dimethylformamide. The drug is used to treat hypertension in adults. The World Health Organization classifies dimethylformamide, or DMF, as a human carcinogen. Valisure asked that the medication be recalled and requested that the FDA review and significantly lower the acceptable intake of DMF from its current level of 8,800,000 nanograms to less than 1,000 nanograms. They're saying you can have up to 8 million. Okay, let me just keep going. The online pharmacy said it found the cancer-causing chemical in valsartan produced by 5 companies. The FDA said in a statement that it will evaluate Valisure's findings and will respond directly to the online pharmacy firm. Concerned patients should speak with their doctor to provide a replacement or alternative treatment, the FDA added.
Geek.
I know. Visit our website, tfmradioshow.com. And for all of you that watch us live, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for notifications, archived audio, and video of broadcasts, as well as our music playlist. Speaking of which, it was Austin's birthday yesterday. Yeah. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TFM Radio Show and on Instagram, The Family Meeting. The news today is brought to you by Wall to Wall Retro, your hip haven for all things retro. Join Lisa and her crew for their first annual Vintage Alley Sale coming up this Saturday and Sunday, June 29th and 30th at 1403 Timber Drive, Elgin, Illinois, 60123 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Clothing, barware, housewares, kitchen, just about anything vintage. Visit walltowallretro.com and find them on Facebook at Wall to Wall Retro. I'm Teresa McDonald, and this has been your Family Meeting News. Eric, Richard, and myself, and my granddaughter in the background.
Geek.
We'll be right back with more of the Family Meeting.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save & Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save & Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save & Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save & Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC Investment Advisor Services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
Hey Chicago, it's time for you to make a difference in a child's life. AARP Foundation Corps is looking for volunteers to help kindergarten to third graders read. You can do it. Here's how you can register. Call 877-926-8300. That's 877-926-8300. And reference AARP Foundation Experience Corps or visit www.aarp.org/eatchicago. It's time for you to help a child read.
I don't understand how this big, that boy is big. How can this big old, that boy big? How can that big old boy get all them women's?
Cause he's the overweight lover, heavy D. He's the overweight lover, heavy D. He's the overweight lover, heavy D. He's the overweight lover, heavy D.
Cooling in my crib and I'm cold maxing. Call up a cutie, I'm in the mood for relaxing. Get my phone book from top of the shelf. I dial 66. I better keep it to myself.
Hey, Ken Brown, KenBrownInternational.com, and welcome back to the Family Meeting.
Look at that big old boy.
Get all them women.
Plural. Hey, I got to throw out a shout to a couple of things. One, to my girls with the women that are doing great work with the Montessori school.
Nice.
1. So Karen, if you're listening, we're down with that. 2, you all have seen that father and son who were watching the video.
Oh my God!
And he's talking to his son
and the baby.
The baby.
The baby is just having a conversation.
So Chris Cuomo. Big ups to Chris Cuomo. He had him on the show.
Him. Yeah.
And now he was already at 47 million views.
Yeah.
But now he's got a sponsor and he's got some other stuff happening. So
commercial too.
He did a Denny's commercial.
Yeah, so we got to give Chris his props because I think he really
he's a comedian.
That.
The guy's
a comedian.
The guy
yeah.
is a comedian, yeah.
Definitely.
But if you watch that, that was a conversation that I've done that before. Talking to a baby, yeah, for real, is that what happened?
And I love how the baby
but the baby was
like
like he was actually having a conversation with him.
My grandmother used to do that to me.
But yeah,
you said
she
that.
would call
distance.
Yeah.
She would do that to me.
Man, that's so cool.
With the little boy, the baby is just like,
I know. And the baby, but then when the baby looks to the left, like, why aren't you in this conversation?
Yeah.
Anyhow,
that is observation because I'm sure that baby saw other people talking, so he knew the gestures.
Yeah.
He knew how people interacted. So
yeah, he been around grown folks.
Yeah, he has. I know. I love that.
That was real cool.
Good to him.
That was real cool.
Yep.
So as it relates to reparations, believe it or not, the Democrats are trying to get away with one this time.
You know what? I'm looking at the phone list.
What?
Tommy is already waiting.
I know.
I have never seen Tommy.
Tommy comes in about
waiting
5:25.
Tommy got something to say about reparations.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think he might have a couple of comments.
Yeah, let me get Norbert calling from Naperville. Norbert, what's up, man?
Oh, it's great to talk to you guys.
Hey, Norbert.
I think aviation is one of the examples of where the opportunities have been denied, and it's so awesome that your son's taking that step. I was in LaGuardia once flying back to Chicago, wearing my Sox hat, and an African American pilot came up and talked to me about the Sox and the South Side. And I it's just when you walk on a plane, how often is that pilot an African American? And the damage is the economic damage and the lack of opportunities. There's no doubt that reparations are necessary. When you look at that kind of situation, I don't think a study's necessary. All you have to do is open your eyes.
Thank you, Norbert.
Come on, Norbert.
Thank you.
When you look at the congressional hearings where AOC did a great job grilling the bank executives, the bank executives are all white males.
Yep.
And what that means is when they make biased decisions about about their business, they're actually hurting their business, but they're also denying those opportunities. So I'm 100% behind reparations, and I try to speak loudly about it because it hurts business.
Yes.
I mean, it hurts our city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need to repair the damage.
Yeah.
Thank
right,
you.
Norbert. Hey, man.
And people don't know the history. People might say they know about slavery, but what about the Black Panther Party? What about what the FBI did to the Black Panther Party? And all the things that in recent history that have been done to keep black people down. I don't think people that history and those things need to be talked about.
Yeah, Black Wall Street.
In that study.
Yeah.
Black Wall Street being burned, all that.
Great
Thank
point,
you,
Norbert.
Norbert.
Hey, man, drive
Norbert.
safe out there, right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Norbert.
I love you guys.
Another violence. Another violence.
Well,
we don't
look
speak
at
enough.
what Cook County did to people of color.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years or so by charging higher taxes on the south and west sides.
Well,
that's democratic violence on people of color.
Listen,
the unions still exclude black people.
they sure do.
Yep.
And they claim they don't.
Well,
but they do.
so I'm always cautious when I see a sign in the window that says Union Home. I just say, well, so what's the zip code that I'm in? So what's their real belief? And to get to your point, the sub conversation about how unions treat black people. So
Exclude, not treat.
Well, exclude and then treat once they are part.
They don't
of
even have them around to treat them.
Yeah. Check this out. So this whole thing about people not being aware. So yesterday, Ann said to me that a coworker of hers, now, my wife works with a bank, said during this conversation this week about reparations, he said, and he's 54 years old, he said, well, I can't believe this whole thing about the Great Migration in the first place. Why is it such a big deal? that he said something to the effect that when you go to the southern states, blacks are all over the place. So what's this big deal about the Great Migration? And she had to hold herself back because, first of all, he's denying that the migration took place.
What did she say to him?
I can't say it on air, but you can imagine having an African-American husband, what she had to say to him, because he was in denial about the migration. And secondly, he said, and as a result, there should be no reparations because what is it that black people need to be repaired from?
Let me get Chris calling from North Lake here. Hey, Chris, what's up, man?
Hi, can we stop this whole stuff about whites and blacks working together and solving their problems? I would have to say it's every man for himself, pretty much. You can't trust anybody.
Well, I know I don't need to be in the room. White people need to fix this. This ain't my thing to fix.
Yeah, well, I was also going to ask you something. What does Mitch McConnell have in his mouth?
Don't get me started on that one, Chris, because I got a lot of things I can't say on the air.
Man, I can't say that on the air, man.
I got to make a comment, too, about 2 weeks ago. You had some kind of health person on there, and I remember you, Eric, saying you would rather eat cake and die than get old. So what's with the health stuff?
Hey, he was talking about cancer, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking about getting fat by eating cake. By the way, cake is good, man.
You know what's in pork chops? Sodium nitrate. It was almost banned in the 70s.
I don't eat any pork, so I wouldn't know that.
Well, you're safe in that, but they put it in beef, too.
Okay.
So I make sure you know your butcher very well.
So you're a geek like Tressa then, huh? All these chemicals and stuff?
No, I like chemicals.
There you go. Okay.
I'm pro global warming, too.
Okay, I don't know how to take that.
Yeah.
Pro global, like you want it?
Look, he
We might
lost
as well
me
get
at
it over
sodium
with. We're
nitrate
not
because
gonna
it's
do
a
anything about
preservative. Nitrate is actually good for the heart.
Yeah, but if you're dead, that won't do your heart much good.
Most dead people don't eat pork.
No, you know, a lot of like people here at the where am I at? Retirement community. There's some people here just genetically superior to the rest of us. I sit with a couple elderly people during meals. One's in their 90s and the guy's in his 80s, and they eat anything they want. He eats meat like you wouldn't believe.
Hey, man, at that age, I've earned the right to do whatever I want to
Yeah,
do.
you ain't got but you only have a few minutes left at that age.
You run out the clock at that point.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks,
we appreciate
Chris.
you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
If I'm 90, I'm eating cake and steak and everything, man. I don't care if I got diabetes or
Twice a
anything.
day.
Hello.
Man,
For breakfast,
I'm good, man.
Breakfast, lunch, and
I
dinner.
beat the curve on this one. I'm good.
I mean, seriously, what else do you have to prove?
I'm going to eat healthy so I can, live till 92?
Right.
What? Let me get Maine here. My Maine man. Maine, what's up?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good, man.
All right. I want to skip over what I wanted to say about reparations first to say what Clinton has said in his first week or two in his first term when he said blacks could not get reparations for the days of slavery. Now, I haven't heard anyone say anything about that comment he made then. And I'm just wondering, does that have any significance as far as getting reparations?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It means that that there are Democrats who are co-conspirators.
Yeah, always have been.
Right.
Right.
I don't think he said it in that context.
Clinton said this the first.
Yeah, but he didn't say it in the context of don't do it.
He was talking about the political will.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
And when it was brought to him to have a public apology on Air Force One.
Yeah, but look, man, you know what? The thing is that we can dilly around this all we want. We need people to be vigorous about it.
Yep.
And all this, we're going to study it and all that other kind of stuff.
It can't be black people. It has to be others.
If you're buying into this whole we need to study it garbage, you are bordering on a co-conspirator.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Every white person, even foreigners who come here overseas, who fly in instead of come through the border, they fly in. Even they know about the days of slavery.
Sure they do.
So any white person, I mean, they know about. They may not know all the ins and outs and depths, but they know that there was slavery here in America.
They're in denial because they think
were the ones that were enslaved. Now, as far as reparations, I feel that school free school and health care. But one of the reasons why I feel they don't want to do that is because then they would have to educate the Hispanic. They don't want to do that. And they want to give health care to poor white people. And they don't want to do that because all it is about profit. The capitalists and the oligarchs and Wall Street and the Loop and Miami and these different places, Houston, these bastards of capitalism, they don't want to see people have these things because it affects their bottom line.
Yeah, see, that's
this
though.
is what they're all about.
That's where we begin to make the business case. For those who think that it's actually an expenditure, it's actually a contribution to the flow of the economy, and there's nobody that's spending a lot of time on that.
Nope.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. You my main man, dude, all right?
Thanks, man.
All
right, man.
Okay.
There's an advantage to inserting resources into the community.
And then not just
into
money.
the economy. The economy is the circulation of money. If you put more money in the economy to circulate, you have a stronger economy.
And it
simple as that.
It cracks me up how the people who call themselves the smartest ones in the room either don't get that, or don't give a damn.
It's probably a combination.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Constantly hurting me, love, deserting me, love. You said, I said, we said, but
My name is Cecil B. Lucy, attorney at law and a certified public accountant. Keep listening to the family meeting.
confusing love, misusing love, abusing love. This can't be slowly.
Make a smart financial move for retirement. Make your retirement money into an IRA. Schedule income. Support your dream. Explore investment options. Gain full control over your money. Give the money a chance for additional tax-deferred growth. How do you start? Call Polaris Wealth Management, the resource for IRA rollovers. Call 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris Wealth Management is the resource for IRA rollovers. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We help new retirees plan to protect their money. Securities offered through Line Street Financial LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Line Street Advisors LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Line Street are not affiliated.
Is your child prepared for the school year? Getting started early means a better chance of getting ahead. Masters Plus Tutoring in Homewood is the program that works. No matter what your child needs to prepare for the coming academic year, better study habits, organizational skills, or time management, Masters Plus can help. In fact, they tutor students in all subjects from kindergarten through college. Perhaps ACT, SAT, or Catholic high school prep are in order. Just visit mptutors.com and request a consultation. All sessions are taught by certified instructors in a private one-to-one setting to ensure each student receives individualized instruction. Whether your child is at a basic level or reaching for advanced placement, Masters Plus Tutoring can help. Call 708-798-8400 or visit them on the web at mptutors.com. Mention WCPT and you'll receive a $25 tuition credit with a purchase of 4 hours or more. That's mptutors.com.
If I kiss, if I held you tight in the morning light, yeah. Would you mind?
Hi, this is Wendy Calvert at wcalvertlaw.com. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Let me apologize for playing Wendy's clip over Earth, Wind, and Fire. My bad, y'all. Because I know y'all was sitting like, like this.
As were you.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I was like, damn, I got to play Wendy now. Damn.
Well, that was your fault.
Damn.
Hey, trust me, every now and again, Eric and I'll be talking about something during the course of a week, and he'll say something that just makes me laugh because I'm thinking, that was a Three Stooges reference. That was a Brady Bunch reference.
Certainly.
Oh, The business case, Mr. Grant.
Yeah, let me get Roosevelt in here. My man, Roosevelt. What's up, baby?
People, how's it going today?
Fantastic, man. How are you?
Hey, I love that Maurice White, but when are you going to play some Lakeside? Like,
man, you like full of requests, aren't you, man?
Yeah, it just shows up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard. I'm trying to figure out which songs you haven't played. That's going through my mind.
All the way live.
You must be just joining the
Way
show.
No, I played all the way live before.
I don't say he must be just joining the show.
No.
I don't think he can come up with a funk band that you haven't played on this
I
show.
play Raid, all of it, man.
All of it.
Yep.
Fantastic Voyage and all that.
He's
man.
played.
He does.
He's reading from a book. He don't know this. Roosevelt ain't hip like that.
Yeah.
No. I don't need to.
You got a funk book in front of him, man.
Let me see when we flip this page.
You're the funk man, Eric.
That's right, baby. Because it not only moves, it removes. You understand?
My own cuts. As far as the kids and that second idiot in the White House.
Oh.
Did you see him this morning?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a short story. I recently got into a big argument with a Catholic priest. He's got his own show daily. And I was going through the stations, and if you would have heard this guy, you wouldn't have said this guy is a priest. I mean, liberals that, liberals this. I tracked him down to the church and everything and got into it real hard with him. Called him a diddlehead. I go, you sound like a diddlehead. You know what a diddlehead is, right?
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Is that ditto with a D? Or
Diddle, with
Biddle, Biddle, Biddle.
Oh, Biddle. Okay. Yeah, I know what Biddle is.
Yeah, Limbaugh. And I said Limbaugh. And so I got it in big time. And this guy is Catholic. I'm Catholic. I mean, this guy blamed everything on liberals. Everything was liberals. I said, why do you give this guy a pass? He goes, what do you mean? I don't give him a pass. I go, all the stuff that he's done with the kids in
detention,
the conditions that they're in, and they're like animals, like in cages. He goes, that's the liberal bias. There's no such thing as cages, and these kids are. He goes, that's distorted. That's the liberal bias. So I couldn't get him to even understand. And I said, and he goes, but Roosevelt, I do all this stuff in the Spanish community, in the Mexican, in the community. I go, yeah, but it's for naught because you're doing more harm than good. I go, I could just imagine what you tell your parishioners. I go, and he does church in 3 different languages, English, Polish, and Spanish. And he's trying to, give himself a pat on the back because of all the stuff that he does in the Mexican community. I go, but you're doing more harm. I go, how can you do that? I go, you're a priest. You're not supposed to judge. Oh, couldn't, and it went one ear and out the other. The guy winds up being like 2 years older than me, and really got into it, and he just blames everything. And you guys mentioned it at your news break. You mentioned, and I think that's a part of our problem, that our religions, and this is in the Spanish community. I'm sure that there's a percentage of African American in the African American community that gives this guy a pass. And, of course, Anglo-Saxon, they give them a pass. And that's why they don't see things. They're focused on what their religion says. And abortion is, and I go, it's the abortion issue. I couldn't get him to admit that, but I go, I know it's that. I go, it's all because of the abortion issue, isn't it? And he couldn't admit it.
Yeah, a third of this country is willfully ignorant or hates you.
Yeah. So, and then as far as
hold on, man. Get your little funk, man.
I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Feel better now?
See there? You got your little funk, man.
I know. You know what? I was trying to speed it up because I know you guys are short.
Okay, go ahead, man. I just wanted to play a little Lakeside for you so you can shut up about that.
All right. But
Roosevelt, this funk book.
I know. Next, he'll turn the next to the next page now.
Okay, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Yeah, and as far as what Steve was talking about, I think there's a big distinction between health care for everybody and 40 acres and a mule, and that's a promise. And that's the thing about this country. They promised and they broke treaties with the Native Americans. Everything that they accomplished as far as the riches of the beginnings of this country was done on the backs of others. And they don't want to face that. And that is the truth. And they don't want to face the truth and reality. And the history that was painted when we were kids, well, like I said before, these guys were, like they were heroes. There are forefathers. There are, they established the Constitution and all these amendments.
Racist bigots who wore powdered wigs.
Right.
And had wooden teeth.
So yeah, exactly. So what I'm trying to say is there's a big distinction, and that's what people don't want to face up to. That this country was, and they don't want to hear it. And I think, and I'm that guy. That's why I had to call when Steve was having such a hard time answering you, Tressa. I'm that guy. I'm the guy that goes to parties, and I stand up for that because you're right, Eric. You have to stand up for what's right.
Yes.
A promise is a promise.
Right.
And that's the problem. And getting back to these kids from Central America, I know I'm all over the place. I'm always all over the place. But anyway, get back to Central America. This is the product of St. Reagan. Reagan's policies that he implemented in Central America, specifically those three countries.
Yep.
This is it.
Yep.
This is it. And this country has, that's another thing.
broken promise.
They never face up to what they do wrong.
Yep.
And we have the utmost imbecile in the White House that
Oh,
doesn't admit that it's
absolutely.
wrong.
Absolutely,
That's for you,
Roosevelt.
Eric. That's for you,
You
Eric.
nailed it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
man.
Roosevelt.
Thanks, Roosevelt.
Yeah.
You see, your boy tried to launch a strike on Iran this week. Y'all gave the gun to the monkey.
Yeah.
I told you what was going to happen.
Oh, man.
He messed around and found the trigger.
He blinked.
No.
He blinked first.
No, he didn't blink first.
He blinked. Yeah, because Iran said, bring that ass.
Well, yeah,
That's
sorry.
what Iran
yeah, okay,
said.
I'm
That's
with
what
you on
happens
that.
when you get the monkey the gun.
Yeah.
And look,
Then
he
the
getting ready,
gorillas-
all y'all people who voted for this imbecile, he's sending your children
Right,
Your
because
to die.
every
Yeah.
black child, every child of color, I don't want y'all to enlist for the service right now because
that's why Malcolm's going to college
Yeah.
to get it.
Nope.
Everybody always said, why don't you just send him to the Air Force? No. That ain't going to happen.
That's gonna happen. Nope. Now that's it. And he did blink. I had
Yeah,
to
he
back that
blinked.
up because what happened to Eric's point, the monkey has the gun.
Monkey got the gun.
But the gorilla showed up at the door, and the gorilla is Iran because they wait. And I don't look. I don't want to go to war, but
Wait a minute,
I
hold a
don't
second.
either.
The gorilla is Putin.
Yeah, good point, E.
Putin's got he's got interests
Yeah.
in Iran.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
he
point,
does.
E.
Putin's
And
like,
anybody,
hey man, yo,
Hey man, I'm
don't-
gonna drop that P tape.
Right.
listen,
You-
and
you-
anybody out there that wants to believe, because that fool was on TV talking about, and they'll never have a nuclear weapon. With all of the uranium that they have over there, if you think for 1 second Iran doesn't already have nuclear
up.
capabilities,
And they
get on up out of here.
See, and this is
you
where
fooling yourself.
This is where all
they
the people
already
who,
have their
who
weapons.
voted
Monkey
for
got the
him.
gun.
This is where all the people who voted for that fool and now still stand behind him are
Exactly.
just dumb because the pulling out of the Iran deal.
Oh my God, that was the dumbest thing he could have ever done. Thinking he's gonna get how can you get a better deal than
Okay.
you tell Iran?
We're getting stupider.
Husa.
I know. Thank you, E. Because I was
it
like,
doesn't do us any good to talk
no.
about imbeciles here.
But you're right about the gorilla is Putin, and because he probably called him up and said, "Hey, yo, player,
Yeah, man.
hey man, you want to shoot down a drone, knock yourself out. But if you do anything else, I'm dropping that P tape.
got that PP tape on everybody.
Yeah, everybody gonna get
Everybody
that.
gonna see what
They
you
gonna
did.
get that right
'Cause you nasty.
Nasty.
Let me get Matt in here. Matt, what's up, man?
Hello, folks. So,
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm no talk. I'm good. How are you?
Doing that thing, man. Trying to recover from a flight yesterday.
Don't worry. Just shake that thing. You'll be okay.
There you go.
So,
Shaking that thing is a healing. You're right.
That's true. Good point, Matt.
Stop.
Thank you.
I still have
So,
visuals
all right.
of when Matt was on the show.
I know.
Damn.
Say white privilege. See what happens. So, all right. Let's get serious. I know you guys know this, but I think this needs to be said. As much as I think that you folks deserve reparations, because you do. White people put you guys through hell. You do realize this is a total distraction, right?
Oh God, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that was covered, that we were good on that, because all this is a distraction. And Alan Colmes always used to say, oh God, I miss Alan Colmes. But Alan Colmes used to say there will never be any reparations. there will definitely be reparations. But I don't want to say we shouldn't focus on it, because we should. But at the same time, let's not forget what's actually happening here.
Yeah,
This
they want to
man
get
tried
us talking about. They
blow
want to
up
get
a
us
country
talking
just
about
to
something
get
else.
into a war so he gets reelected. Come on. Stay
Yeah.
with it, people.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
not
but
where
see,
the
here's-
war is
By
going
the
to
way,
be.
But
you know
here's
why
here's
he
the thing, Matt.
abolished
Here's
you
the
know why
thing.
he abolished the Iran deal? I'll tell you why. 70 Miller says it best. Because the black guy did it. Ooh. Because the black guy did it. Because Obama did it. And if Obama did it, it can't be good.
No, it's the jealousy factor. I mean, Trump is.
That's why he raped that one blog, that columnist in New York too, because at the time she was dating a black man.
Yeah. He's I mean, man, I hear what you're saying, man. I mean,
You don't like Jungle Fever.
It is it is a distraction, and it needs to be discussed. It needs to be not discussed. I'm sorry. It needs to be done.
He's an idiot.
So it's a
I'm
distraction
just
for
tired of
sure.
talking about
As
it.
everything is
We're
right now.
wasting. Damn, I can't
Yeah.
get that time back now.
Hey,
Yeah.
Matt, it's good to hear from you. Have you been okay?
Yeah, no, I've been good.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of rehearsals on Sundays
You've been working.
around this time. I have.
Hey, when is the show again? Is it not going to be like at midnight again? Is it going to be like a reasonable hour?
No, my next show is at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, July 10th. I've written a TV pilot. I'm having it staged at the IO Theater.
Oh,
Nice. Good.
Where?
IO Theater. It's by the strip club and Whole Foods on Kingsbury.
What?
What's the place called, man? I don't know anything about no strip club, man. What are you talking
This is
about?
right here.
It's just
Reference strip club.
North Avenue in Kingsbury, just south.
What's it
of
called?
What's
it
called?
IOC.
IO Theater. The strip club is called Rick's Cabaret.
Okay, that's more information than I need. Thank you, though.
You're very
I'll go in there and have somebody rub their booty on my
I do
$50
miss
shirt.
you guys. I do think of you. And before I let you go, it's been a while. Richard, you bad. Eric, you need help. And Ressie, you got me straight tripping, boo. Bye.
Well, I need help, man.
Oh my goodness.
Help me
man.
not getting on that,
That was-
damn plane with Malcolm.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. That was Matt's love tap to you, man.
Is that what it was?
Must have been.
Yeah.
Must have been.
IO Theater, 6:30 on the 10th. I might actually do that if I can beat it over there from here.
Huh? Why don't we do it together? We went over there.
I don't do that much, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. So yeah, listen, man. Lest we get distracted, I think that we're letting the Democrats off the hook. I think that they can get out and put on a big show and say we endorse the study. Too easy, man. Listen, black women got a bunch of them dudes elected.
Yeah.
You owe
Big time.
So the study thing,
Bigly.
if you're going to do it, it needs to happen quickly,
Yeah. It don't need,
expeditiously, and we need to see somebody voting on legislation that deals with reparations quickly.
does not.
I don't care
need-
if I don't care if the Senate is still Republican and you think they won't pass it. I don't
doesn't
care.
matter. Yeah. Stand behind
Get
it.
on the record.
Yep.
Of supporting reparations in any form.
Any form.
Yep. Now, and it does because I don't know who it was that said, one of the callers, and maybe we've talked about it too. There's no need to do a whole bunch of research and review. It's not necessary. Hell, if our white brethren don't have enough evidence, but their siren song of when they learned about slavery was Roots, then watch Roots again. Whatever.
Check out 12 Years a Slave too.
Yeah,
while you at it.
that should be enough. Just run that. Just run that during the
Maybe
hearing.
mix in some Django in there too. if you
Yeah,
want.
just run 3 movies and then
Did
say,
you
okay,
hear-
done. Y'all
funny.
good now?
You funny.
Y'all good now? We got
Django
3
came out nice.
Yeah, it did. He did.
Did you hear
I love how he rode off into the sunset. He tipped his hat and turned. But that's all they got to do. They run Roots, they run Django, and they run 12 Years a Slave, and we're good.
What are you gonna say, Shorty?
Hmm.
You get ready to say something?
No, I was just gonna say, did you guys see how that idiot answered the question that was posed to him about the exonerated 5?
Oh, that it's
No, see, you gonna make
on both
me-
sides.
See that, man?
On both sides. You mean
Yeah,
they get?
yeah.
They're
He gave
on
his,
both
he gave his
sides.
typical answer.
I'm not
There's
On
people
both
on both sides of that. Yeah. Oh, he goes say, "Oh, it's funny. I think you should answer that question of me right now."
Well, yeah, because you spent
I
$85,000.
think what I think about that answer is, I would not be upset if he fell on a flight of stairs, 2 flights of stairs, broke his damn neck, right?
And it was-
lived, right? Got diabetes, hernia, painful hernia, right?
They can fix that.
And
though.
lived had to live in a nursing home, unable to speak for the rest of his life with a diaper on.
Right.
That's what I think about that damn
with all his children in jail.
And I hope he has a long life like that.
And his children, all his children in jail.
Excruciating pain every day, popping pills,
and
to fight off the pain.
And don't nobody want to come take care of him.
No, he can't tell nobody.
Can't
Remember,
tell
he
nobody.
can't speak. He's just in pain.
Right.
He's in pain.
He can't tell nobody.
All he can do is point to his diaper. I got a boo-boo.
Yeah. He'll be like the one dude in Breaking Bad who was in the wheelchair. He couldn't do nothing. Remember, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yep. Mexican dude.
What he's participating in and having done to those boys, I hope he's living in a diaper and pain for the rest of his life because of that.
Yep.
Yeah. And listen,
In his
anybody
own-
that hears me now and thinks that that's wrong,
Too bad.
Too bad.
kick them rocks.
Kick
With sandals
Kick
on.
'em.
Sharp ones.
Kick them. All right. Tommy's waiting, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Told me that you never leave me. Girl, you just went and told a lie. Tell me, baby, why'd you do it? Why'd you make me wanna cry? Why you treat me so bad?
Hello, this is Dr. John Artis from Health on Earth Wellness Centers. You can visit us at www.healthonearth.org. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Why you treat me so bad? I don't know, baby. Why you treat me so
The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. We are an intimate aromatherapy, massage, bath, and body shop. We have the best aromatherapy, bath, and skincare products available. You can find us in Chicago and on the World Wide Web. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 3 blocks east of Harlem Avenue. 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com.
The reason that it's important to advertise on the family meeting is that we have an economical way of reaching a great audience. One could say it's not cheap, but what we like to say is that it's an effective buy for a business or an individual who wants to reach a quality audience. The reason that it's important or a good place to advertise is that our cousins love to patronize. I'm Richard Chu, also known as Bad, the Black Asian dude with the family meeting. For more information on advertising on the family meeting, you can reach us at info@tfmradioshow.com. That's info@tfmradioshow.com. You can also contact us at area code 708-794-6444. 708-794-6444.
The Law Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck.
You better call Darnell.
Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI?
Think you better call Darnell.
Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony?
I think you better call Darnell.
Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm?
I think you better call Darnell.
When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home?
I think you better call Darnell.
That's right, you better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles. Oh! Click, 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 click.
Turn your head this way, baby. I'm focused in on you and your sexy smile. Turn a little, babe, love, blend into the light. I'd like to do you perfectly right, and I won't touch that.
This is Rodney Harrington. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Get it, E.
I ain't ready for that kind of
Man,
funk,
you can't sit still. You can't sit still
Click,
any place
click,
on the planet
click,
when this
click,
song
click,
comes
click.
on.
Man, no.
You hear that, Roosevelt? Stop turning those pages of your funk book.
You got the funk manual.
You get this funk manual out. We love you, bro.
I heard you turning pages, Roosevelt.
We love you, Roosevelt.
Flipping pages, man. Let me find another one for you. I heard you, man.
He
Funk
said-
book, man. My funk book is in here.
Yes, it
It's
is.
in the head, man.
You got addiction. Hey, man.
Oh,
I
my
was
God.
talking about earlier about the Ta-Nehisi's father in the library.
Paul.
So, Paul, that's one of my geeky but proud moments in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I love still today, but growing up, the library was one of my favorite
Oh,
places
God.
to go.
You guys
And
are
when
geeks, man.
no, and
I
when
loved
and,
it.
and
I'm
when-
with you.
in my senior
I
year in
used to
high
tell my
school,
mom, drop me off at the library.
in my
I'm good.
Trust it.
Geekness is thick
In my
here
senior
today,
year in
man.
high school, I had enough credits to graduate early.
Oh, yeah.
And my father said, "Nah, you're gonna walk down the aisle." You know what I did the whole second half of my senior year? I was sort of the junior librarian from my high school.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. So anyhow, the library is a cool spot.
Don't you know they don't do library cards anymore?
I know. Ain't crazy.
I was proud of my library
I-
card. That was when you had an ID when you was
Hold on, man.
young,
Hold
too.
on, man. It's all this geek stuff, man.
Oh.
He really with that today.
Wait a
didn't
minute.
like the
You
library?
geeked out.
No, I'm not like that. I'm spending no time in the
But
damn
not
library.
like
You didn't
got
go to
your
the
I want
own.
to go to the library.
You got your own moments. You know you do. Shut up, man.
I love the
You
library.
know, he's always been, socially challenged.
He's the
when it comes to that
counterculture.
stuff
Eric's
like
the-
that, you
Eric's
know.
the
I'm
epitome.
counterculture.
Eric's the
Library,
one hanging out in the library.
The
Eric's the-
library was the spot. It
I'm
was
telling you,
lit back
it
then.
was.
The library.
The
Find
library
a
was
spot around
lit.
the corner at the
You
end.
missed
Tressa,
it.
at the end of the aisle.
Thank you.
You know,
Hold on, man.
Thank you.
Hold on.
cute girl you want to
Man,
talk to. Go to
that's
the end
where
of the.
you went
You
to
go
the
to the
li-
end of
that's
the
where everything was
because you
going
can
on
whisper.
at the
It's
library.
a great place to go and whisper.
Man,
Hold on, man. The library.
you thought we was in there
Yes.
studying?
Hey, E, when I was
library,
look,
man.
Eric, when I
That
was
had nothing to do.
The library was lit.
even
The
before
skating rink was lit.
Even
the library
before-
wasn't lit.
you had to pay to get in. Even,
Hello.
and even
you
before
go to the library for free.
even in college, I went to the law school library 3 nights a week studying in the law school library. I
You know what?
loved it there.
Will County has a law library on top of the
the library is
the
the
court,
topic of
the courthouse.
conversation. Yeah.
There's a law library. I used to go up there.
Hey, I have no apologies for that,
Look at-
Mr.
look at
Eric
Eric.
Grant.
Yeah,
Mr. Man.
Yeah, I am unapologetically black on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. The geekness is thick like peanut butter today,
that's
boy.
okay. Yep.
What was that chemical again?
You know what? I'm not finna repeat that for you because you're making fun of me now.
I am actually.
I know you are.
You can't remember it, though.
But it's dimethylformamide.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's scary.
Bam.
That was like you saying water.
Exactly.
That's
Messing with me.
That's the geek moment of the day right there.
Well, we own it though, E. You got yours. You know you do.
Nah,
He
I
do.
don't.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
have no
Yeah,
geek
you do.
moment.
Yes, you
Ain't-
do.
Nope, ain't got no geek moment.
Okay,
man.
fine.
Nope.
Yep.
At least not in front of people. At least. Yeah, I like going
proud-
to.
I'm
Wait a minute.
proud of
Hey, I
my
like
children.
going to the library.
He's lying or has a short
you
memory.
know I know
He's
it.
geeked out on
You
me
know
when
I
we're
know it.
doing
I know it.
proposals
I
for
know it.
clients.
Listen,
He'd be like, Rich,
listen,
okay, so check this out.
Listen.
That's about getting that paper.
It's still a geek moment, so is the library.
No,
That's
it ain't.
backstory.
That's a knowledgeable moment.
Shut up, man. You know you
It's a
got
knowledgeable
You
moment.
know you
So you
got
turn
yours.
When I'm strategizing on what to do for clients, that's what I do for a living. That's
We
how
know
I get
that.
paper. That's
I
how
love
pay.
it too, though.
So he garden tools
because
himself out.
Tressa,
I'm not hanging around in the damn library.
because he's learned and because he's a very smart dude.
Wait.
I'm experienced.
I'm actually taking offense to
too.
the fact that you are ostracizing us because.
Y'all geeks.
But what's wrong
Tressa,
with that?
I'm not
There's
offended
nothing
by
wrong
it.
with being a geek.
I'm not offended by it because he
It's
is one
brothers
too.
it's brothers and bullies like you that made being a geek not popular back in high school.
It wasn't me. It wasn't people like me. It was the geeks that
we're
made it.
fighting the
It
battle.
was them plaid pants you wore and them crazy glasses you wore.
Tressa,
That's what made it.
Don't
bad.
don't fight the fight that way. He is one too.
You know I know this.
Yes,
man.
he is.
Listen, if I was hanging out in public like y'all,
Yes,
hey, I want to go to the library. What kind of Barney stuff is that?
The same dude.
Proud of being a geek.
Clearly you are.
Yes.
Your dimosicide, whatever you. Come on, man.
The best part about that, though,
Here,
you got to give it up.
Say-
Neither
say
one
it-
of us can
say
say
it-
that
say it
word
with
without
me.
stumbling.
Say it with me,
I
Eric.
have no interest in saying it with you.
Yes, he does, because he asked you
I have
earlier.
no
How do-
interest
He
in
said
saying that
earlier.
word
How do you
with
say
you.
that?
Say it with me. Die.
I have no
Methyl.
interest. You understand?
Forma.
Indifference. Indifference is everywhere. It's my aura.
It's his motto. We got it. That. Oh, that's what we should get him for Christmas. A T-shirt and
Oh,
a hat
my
combo,
God.
a onesie
Yes,
that
yes.
says "Indifference is my motto."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's mighty novel. That's real novel.
Then you can regift it.
It comes from a place of love.
How
You
about
know,
That's real novel from a couple of geeks.
Can't stand him.
I want to go to the library.
Hater.
Hey, Mom. Hey, you want to go get some ice cream?
He
No, I
hating.
want to go to the library.
He hating. Just hater.
Hey,
they
listen,
didn't.
why don't we go skating?
They didn't let jocks.
We
into
can go
the
skating on the
library.
way to the
Why don't we go
library.
roller skating? Nope, I'm going to go to the
And
library.
here's the
Jackson
thing.
to the
Trust, I
library.
was a jock, but I love the library.
You know what? It's a hot party tonight. Nope, I'm going to go to the library.
Hater.
Okay.
I can't lie. I did. That was my
Okay.
excuse.
You know
every now
what?
and
I'm
again.
going to let Tommy tell y'all what kind of geek y'all are, all right? Because y'all geeks, man. Tom, what's up, man?
I love them too much to talk about geeks. But you know what? I think that after I finish my comments, I'm going to go to the library. Because it's a funny thing about the library. Why go to the library? Because the library is a wealth of knowledge. The library is the actual foundations of the beginning of understanding, called the term of skip the hell out of you. And how do you come to this conclusion? When we get into such a narrative as the thing of reparations, you have to stop and ask yourself a simple question. Why would we be talking about reparations when, in fact, when you stop and you think about the narrative of the horrific horror of slavery and what happened to some people who had never did anything to the United States of America? Nothing at all. Why then do we need to talk about reparations? When if you just stop and start with Trayvon Martin and look at all of the things that have taken place in the so-called African American community, you will begin to recognize a simple narrative. Did they do anything to reform the behavior of lawless policing? Did they do anything to rebuild the communities that was absolutely destroyed by the overtaxing and the absolute degradation of politicians who sucked out everything that was in these communities and left it as a barren oasis where now my prayers go out to the mother of 8 children. I don't think y'all hearing me right now. A mother of 8 children was shot and killed last night as she just simply stepped out of her house on a summer evening. Reparations. Reparate what? What is it do you believe that they're going to give us that they have not taken away from us from the get-go? Do we deserve it? Why do you have to ask a stupid question like, do you deserve some reparations? Why would any person waste their time with a conversation on that narrative? And more importantly than that, in an era where individuals absolutely do not vote no matter what the hell is going on, that clearly tells them that you ought to be voting, why then do you pit yourself through the individuals who say they're on your side, but it's clearly showing you they're not on your side, but you have no recourse but to take their side, otherwise you're outside. Reparation, folks. I'm talking to my church today and everything was going fine until y'all start talking about the damn money. Now everybody is looking around strange and black-eyed, and I can't get money again today because of you, Eric Grant. Yeah, there's something wrong with you, Eric Grant. And then you got Trusser, and you got my boy over there, the Asian black dude. I got to tell y'all something as I get off of the air. It is a damn shame that at this point in this time, in our lives, that we see the evidence of the heartlessness, the absolute hypocrisy that not even white people seem to get, that they don't even protect their communities anymore. You got a man sitting up there saying 10 minutes before they went and go over there to Iran and stuff, he thought about 150 lives being lost. And lives are being lost in America from every type of thing you can come up with. So I just want to close with this. As I said to my church today before I stuck them up, because hell, I robbed them today, folks. I had to have that money. I need that money. I need that money. I just want to tell you people this. Are you listening? Skip the hell out of you. Keep listening to the family meeting. By the way, I'm going to the library to see if my name and my descendants are in there. There's got to be somebody in there. It's got to be. It's just got to be. And as far as geeks go, well, I'm glad I was one of them too, because guess what? I'm doing pretty good in a messed up society known as Skip You. Keep listening to the family meeting. Tommy is a little off today because basically there's some things that just break your heart. A mother of 8, really? Goodbye.
It's time, y'all. We need to start community service, our contribution to community safety. Because if Tommy don't get it from us, he gonna get it from you.
Get that money.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that.
Go to the
Mother.
I hadn't either.
You're gonna go to
I'll
the
have to
library.
look that up. Probably
Well-
on some nacho stuff, something stupid.
Isn't that the problem, though, that you haven't heard about it? Because we hear about a lot of things.
Mm.
It's starting.
That is a problem.
That's an indication that it's
A
beginning to
normalcy.
normalize itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Just taking lives like that. And now you got 8 children who you got to account for. And
Yeah, so then let's back that up on the conversation of reparations.
That's the
Not to cut
business
you off,
case,
That's
yeah.
the business case. So those communities that have those issues, if those issues weren't, and we go back to the conversation we have all the time about jobs being gone in certain areas, gone to the suburbs,
Yep.
and everything else goes.
Mhm.
I mean, I went to my stepmother's church today at Shiloh Baptist at 71st in Racine, and I decided to drive back Racine to get to 55th, to then come over to the Dan Ryan. And I couldn't stop shaking my head because I hadn't been through in a while.
Yep.
Not long, but I just drove through and I said, why is this the way that it is?
Yeah.
It's not because these people. And so anyhow, I mean, I
so
won't
watch
go
for
on.
this thing. Watch for this. Watch for either the ability or the inability to make the business case for reparations. If the conversation even continues, because I don't even know, based on the hearing, where they intended on going next.
Right.
Is it more hearings? Is it actually a study group? Or are they going to include these ashy knuckle dudes in the study group? I mean, what's going to happen next? And we're only talking about a damn discussion.
Yeah.
That's too easy for the people that we expect to advocate for our permanent interests.
Yeah.
It's too easy for them.
We have people in those seats that don't represent us.
Thank you.
And
So we got to put some heat on them to do more than hearings. And we need to make sure, talk to your congressman, your senator, whomever, about making the business case. That is, if you change the dynamic of education, that is, right now it's funded by property taxes. Properties vary in value, which means that the funding of schools varies in value. You normalize it, so all the schools get the same amount. The amount you're going to get per pupil in the state of Illinois and anywhere
the
else
same.
should be the same for every single
I
student.
think all schools should look the same.
It's the same building.
Yep.
They should have the same building.
Same building.
So and then tie that to the outcome. The data is all there. You know what an educated populace does economically.
Yep.
You know what they do. So that's an investment. It's not a handout. If you're educating people, if you're giving them access, the financial access, to post-secondary education, there's an economic value tied to that, and it's clear. It ain't even got to be studied. We know what it is.
It's been studied already. Why spend any more time and money on studying something that that the evidence is there, the data is there? You don't need to do that. Just
Right.
pull the trigger and be done with it.
Look at gentrified, quote unquote, gentrified neighborhoods, and what happens to property value and all the businesses that pop up. Why can't you create a financial model that allows that to happen in the communities that you had to drive through the other day?
Yep.
Right. That's reparations, because, like we said during the break, black folks don't want no handout. We want your foot off our neck, and we know how to capitalize on opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because we've had to make something
Better than
out
anybody.
of nothing for generations.
I love
so
it.
if we ever had a little something, it would turn into something big,
yeah.
and we would be off your payroll.
And this is the part that this is the twist that the quote majority culture knows or community knows but can't get their head around. They know that.
Yeah, they do.
They know that. Like you hear the conversation about pull themselves up from the bootstraps. Ain't nobody pull themselves up by the bootstraps other than us.
Yeah.
Because
and we're experts at pulling ourselves up by our sandal
by our
straps.
sandal
We didn't
strap.
have no damn
We didn't have
boots.
boots. Right. And that's what they're scared of.
And
let's-
listen, before we start on me, Silver Spoon, all that stuff, we've had it good on a relative spectrum. Right? Our parents had it worse off than we did, and their parents had it worse off than they did. That's how it's supposed to go.
Right.
It's supposed to get better.
Right.
Every
Each generation.
So don't hold that against me, because
No.
I had it better off
No,
than
no,
you.
no, 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 no.
Exactly.
No, no, no.
That's how it's supposed
But
to be.
hold up, E. The other part of that, sorry.
That's all the time we have.
I know. Sorry.
I'd like to thank you.
You want to do it?
No.
Okay, sorry.
I know y'all could be a lot of places today, and I appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have. I want to thank you for yours, for Tressa and your real news.
You're welcome.
She's a geek. And Rich, the black Asian dude.
Yes, sir. Freaky over here.
I want to go to the library. No, none of that skating stuff.
T. Hedges says, so far, geeks run the world.
Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Peace.
Keep my